And our call to action is to take the information and do something with it. And whether it's pushing out the videos and sharing it with people, or getting organized in your local area so that when you go in to your school district as Ann Carpenter, and I don't know if I think Ann's supposed to come today too. I like her hashtag, no one stands alone. And that's what this is all about. Because we know that when people go in and start asking questions, and Mary will talk about this later, they're going to try to marginalize you. So let's go ahead.
I want to discuss with the board members that incident that happened Saturday. I'm trying to be as nice as I can, but yeah, no, matter of fact, I am going. We were invited to a meeting. Actually, it was an autism run, me and Misty Whitley. And they asked us to come because they knew we had concerns over children with disabilities. So we were there handing out our information, and a certain trustee came to decide to get into the middle of everything that was going on. So it drew the attention away from the kids, and it drew all the attention to her. And really the reason I'm speaking tonight is because of the lady that actually put on the meeting. She was scared to come here because she felt it would be repercussions. I told her, of course not, there wouldn't. But the person knows who I'm talking about. It was unprofessional, and my understanding was that it not only happened once, twice, the third time they directly called the police on the trustee. So this person was representing you while you were at home doing whatever you're doing, and I think trustees have a position all the time, don't they? I don't think they're exempt from have to follow ethics, and we're so concerned about our ethics that maybe she needs to watch her own. But anyway, I'm going to pray for you that you will have better ethics or better thought process before you get next time. Thank you.
Ms. Whiting, members of the board, Dr. Powell. I'm here tonight because I have a major concern about a minor child that was in the Crowley Independent School District. She's now being homeschooled. Her private records were somehow leaked to the public in just the last week or so. I don't believe this is a behavior that anybody on this board or in this school district should condone. It makes me sad to think someone would do this to a minor child. I don't think it matters what your walk-in life is, what your resume says, what office you hold, or what office you're running for. If you do this to a child, you need to suffer repercussions. I know that a copy of the letter went to the Star paper, and I had a discussion with that reporter on Saturday morning. I'm heartbroken to think that a school district would allow this to happen. I don't have any children in school at this time. I have grandchildren. They're in the Fort Worth ISD. I would be devastated if this happened to them. I think it's time somebody get control of what's going on in the school district. I don't know who that lies with. I don't know if it lies with the board or with the superintendent's office. But I think it is time for this kind of shenanigans to stop. I know teachers, administrators, and people that are affiliated with school districts across this state who are homeschooling their children because of antics like this, because of all the pressures of STAR testing, and because of the curriculums that many school districts have adopted. And that's my main concern tonight. I thank y'all for listening to me, and I do hope you will address this issue.
Ms. Whiting, members of the board, and Dr. Powell, I come to you this evening as a concerned CISD parent, not as a candidate. I am running for one of your seats, but I am concerned that this letter that has been sent to every member of this board and also has been released to a member of the press contains my child's private information. Now, my child has suffered enough, I think. She has no bearing in how this race is run. She has suffered the loss of her father, and now she is having to deal with her private information being shared. She has been accused of being truant, and she is not. My child is very deeply concerned with the fact that this information has been released. And I believe that this information was released by either principals, teachers, clerks, or somebody in this ISD. And this can happen to any child. And now I wonder if my grandchildren and my daughter who works for this ISD information will be compromised as well. I am asking that you look into this and that you also give better training to these people who work for you that may have personal information, whether it's gossiping that they're doing or sharing, however this information was released, that you do better training and you get these people in line, because this is not acceptable behavior. Children, our own personal children, have no way, in any possible way, have any possible reason to be dealing with any of this. They're our future. They're not pawns to be used against us. Thank you.
Was abuse of authority by members of this school board. Rusty touched on this earlier. I really wanted to drive this home. This is not the first time this has happened. Regardless of what happens, this board really needs to make it clear that board members do not have the authority to order attendees off of school grounds at events that are not under CISD control. That is a gross abuse of authority, and it is the second time a certain board member has used bully tactics on public citizens. Now, at this rate, the recording that we have of the first incident will probably need to be uploaded to a public site server to serve as a warning, so this can stop happening. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. I hope that's not what it takes. I know that we're in the middle of a fairly serious school board race, but we do not need to start using bully tactics just because we start disagreeing with the way people are doing things.
Suddenly, we're feeling like something is going on in the schools that maybe we don't quite understand. And the beginning of understanding it is to say that there are people that have agenda or motives much different than ours. And it's hard for us sometimes to look and say, these people would be willing to do some of these things to our children to make money. And it's just that plain and simple. It's things we wouldn't do, it's things teachers wouldn't go along with. But it's things that are profiting people. They see the schools as a tool to fundamentally transform society. And they desire that children leaving the schools don't identify themselves as living in a particular town. In other words, they're not from Katy, Texas. They don't identify, they're not a Boy Scout or a Catholic. They're a global citizen.